All right, so now you are in the world editor. For anyone else that is watching this, this video is being tailored specifically to a friend of mine that is going to be working on this map with me. So a lot of this is going to be directed towards him specifically. This video will be probably posted more publicly as well, just to, I don't know, maybe if you're just interested or you want to see how I'm doing things, or if you want to just kind of watch this in the background while you're doing something else. But all right, so all right, this area I'll be using as an example is a kind of an internal, or I'm sorry, underground tunnel and bunker system. Um, it is being hidden by some objects above it because you cannot cut into terrain in this editor. You can only add things above ground and then kind of do what I did where you're hiding it. So just doing a little preview here of what this looks like. So if you were to come out of the tunnel system, you can see the terrain is cut out. But over here, I've used different objects to cover the hole. And I'll be doing that pretty much this whole way. So this item here is called Water Station 01 Grass Hill. You can scale it up and down, helps hide this pretty well. Some other items you can use are in the prefabs. There's a retaining wall with grass on it. Again, you can scale that bigger or smaller, however you see fit. You could see here there's a opening above the tunnel, and I'm actually using this platform to hide that as well. So what we are going to be doing is showing some more so object placement to kind of get you started. So we'll just start right here. Some basics to be moving around. If you hold your right mouse click, and you can pan your camera around. And if you hold mouse and you use WASD, it will move you around the map. If you hold right click and you do your mouse wheel, it'll make it go slower. Or if you go up, it'll make it go faster. So we are going to be looking at what some different things are here in our browsers. So actually I'll just do this, collapse all. So this is, and I may not be calling these things by their proper names, but this essentially is our world. This is our map. These are folders. And then this icon, I think it looks kind of like a burger, looks like a layer. So you're going to mostly be working in the locations folder. These locations folders are named what that kind of the area what they are. So right now I am working in Boyce Harbor, which is this here. All right. So in Boyce Harbor, we have the bridge, we have the dam, industrial, so on and so on. So I am working in the train station, and I'm just kind of keeping things in the general area of each other. So within that train station, and for that matter, these different folders, they will have things layers that you're working in and layers that I'm working in. We can edit and change and modify each other's layers. Try to work in your layer, so that way I know it's something you're working on and I know not to mess with it. If it's in my layer, kind of the same idea. So right now I'm working in this, and I try to keep the name very similar because the name itself, you cannot have something named the same thing. So I cannot have a folder named Boyce Harbor train station and a layer named that same thing. They have to be different names. So when you're working on something, you will be working in the name of your folder. So right now I'm just going to keep working in mine. So we're going to move back into this beginner area here. If I can orient myself properly. There we go. All right. And actually, let's move. I'll move this up real quick. And I'm going to actually take advantage of how this came up. So what we're going to do is we are going to go over some of the basic functions, and I will be kind of voicing them as I do them. So let's see. How do I want this? This what's happened is this item here moved when I saved and reloaded. So which does happen once in a blue moon. I like how it actually has come out a little further. So let's set it there. I like that. So what can I do to All right, so let's just try. So there's a lot of trial and error in this. Seeing how something looks, changing it up. So let's go over some of the basic movements. So up here, you have different tools. This here is the snap to ground or ground manipulation tool. The shortcut key for that on your keyboard is Q. So starting at Q, moving right one is the movement tool. That you can use W on your keyboard. Again, it's just one over. And then the rotate tool is E. And the scale tool is R. So let's see what each of these do. All right. So Q, the ground manipulation tool, will give you a dot, and you can move this dot around by left clicking on it and dragging. As you see, the item moves with where it wants to snap to. This can be a little hit or miss sometimes. I don't use this a whole lot. What I like to use is the move tool, which is W on the keyboard, and that gives you these arrows to orient with. So the color will match the coordinates over here and its axis. So red is X, Y is green, and Z is the blue. So depending on which way you're looking, you got your left or right, forward, backwards. The one that stays the same is the green. All right, and it's based on how the object was placed. So if I rotate it, this is now here, but if I rotate it more, it's now going to move. It's not going to move this way. So now its Z axis is now what moves it up and down. So, all right. So back to here. So the next one would be, so we were on move. I'm sorry, we were on move. The next one is going to be the rotate tool, which is E. And there we go. Again, you've got your axes. All right, match the colors that are over here. Pretty self-explanatory. It gives you the idea of which way you're going to rotate it. All right. You can manually change these here, which we'll be doing a little bit. The next hotkey is the rotate tool. I'm sorry, I apologize, the scale tool. And there will be some errors in me as I speak and do this video. I'm not doing this as a tutorial for educational purposes per se for the public. Again, this is just trying to make something to be able to do, and it would take too many retries. So we're on retool, resize tool, and you're going to R. It's going to give you this icon here, and you can left click and bring up or bring down, or you can key it in here So I'm like half and half. Sometimes I'll scale it up or down with this, or other times I'll type it in. Try not to scale too regularly. When you scale an item, there's a chance for it to become glitchy and not allow collision properly, or it'll allow people to glitch into it. So, all right. Now, let's go into duplicating. So, the easiest way to get this item to repeat itself, right? So let's say we want to make a wall. You can bring out the move tool with W, hold left control and left alt, and then click whatever orientation you want to bring this to. So if we want to move it from this perspective, left and right, this, and let's go in, and you can let go. Once you start moving it, you can let go of the keyboard. And you want it to overlap just a little bit. All right. So you can do something like that. If you bring it in, you'll see that the object will start to kind of glitch in on itself. Sometimes you will get textures that will glitch, like here you go, right to here. So with a wall, if the players will not see this, there's no need to worry about trying to hide it. So you do that. And then again, we're going to duplicate it again. You can hold Control, hold Alt, and then click and drag your arrow. So what I like to do, so that's why you're not staring at the exact same sequence of walls, you can click one of these. So let's just choose the middle one. Click E to rotate it. And in the Move tool, you can hold Control, and it'll snap as you rotate it. And it'll tell you the degree. And then there you go. Again, that's that's Control, and then left click and rotate it. So if you rotate it 15, let's just say, and you start to rotate it again, you're going to be at a new angle. It's going off the angle from 0. So if we want to put it, if we want to put it back to 0 to straight, hold Control and rotate it. All right. So let's say you've put several of these walls down. You can click and drag them. So if you you click on one, hold Control, and select another one. You can click and drag them and make a hierarchy, a parent and a child. And then when you move this one, you move all of them. If you rotate them, you rotate all of them. There is a tool or a button up here. It's called the Select Parent Entities. And if you click that, and you click on an item, it's going to always select the parent. All right. If you turn that off and you select an item, it is going to select just the child. We can rotate just that child. All right, sorry about that. All right, where was I? So you can move it. So let's just say you made this wall and you now want to, let's just say, add a doorway. So you can, and you want to add a door like right in the middle of it. You can select this one. And then in your resource browser, you can start kind of typing in what you think you're looking for. And let's just type in door. And you're going to notice in the Reforger, ARMA Reforger, there's prefab library and prefabs. You'll kind of be bouncing in between the two of them. All right, like so look right here, right? Prefab library only has a couple things with the word door in it. But prefab has a very long list. All right. And sometimes they are let's see. So this here has the ability to open, it looks like. Nope, that's just a glass. So I'm going to show you here. And then, so this is called door barracks, door set barracks. So if you look, this actually has a frame around it. This does not. This is just a hinge on the door. All right, so what do you want to actually type is called door space set. And that brings up the door with the frame. All right. We're going to go ahead and delete this one. Oh, that's a good example here. So now look here. I am still on selecting the child. So you want to make sure you either go back to select parent to delete something, or when you're in selecting child, select the door frame type of situation. Okay. So I'm going to go back to select parent, and we've got this door here. We're going to delete it, and we're going to just use this as an example. All right. So when you place it, depending on how your object is currently oriented, it's not going to line up properly. So you can go into your rotate tool with E, and you can try to eyeball it. But sometimes certain things you want straight, sometimes you want other things to be rotated a little bit, kind of off center a little bit. With the doorway, obviously you want it to match up to what you have on the wall. So here is how you line objects up. Click on an object that has the orientation that you want, and the angle Y is its rotation. So we're going to on angle Y. Left click on it, Control C for copy. Go to your object, go to your Y rotation, Control V for paste, and hit enter. And it is now, should now be completely flush with that. But notice how this object does have some rough edges. All right, so we're going to line it up on the left side. What I'm going to show you here is when you go to select this wall, we're currently on the select parent. So we're going to go back, turn that off. We're going to select what we want. And we're going to move this to the side there. All right. Now, while you're in selecting the child and you hit the parent, it will move the parent and the children. So it'll move the parent along with anything underneath it. All right. Just be mindful of that. You don't need to have walls in a hierarchy with a parent and a child. You can leave them be their own. So now that we've got this here, if you want to ever test and see how things look like in the game, you can go up to here, click this kind of down arrow, and make sure you have it clicked to play from camera position. And if you prefer full screen or the viewport, this is the viewport. So let's go to play in full screen, play from camera position, and we're going to hit play. look around, see what the world's looking like, and then this is what we placed. So very basic, but this is going to get you to the starting point. So yep, something to take into account here is something like this, that when the door swings, it's going to intersect with this wall a little bit. So we'll need to move that wall if this was something we're actually messing with. All right. So now for you, when you go to exit, you will probably hit escape. All right. So if you get to this list, exit to main menu is not correct. So you're not going to click this. It'll actually bring you back to the main menu in the game. So you're going to probably hit escape. I have mine short keyed to Control Shift Delete, and I'll bring you back to edit mode. And I'm going to show you how to get a shortcut key for that. Let's look at a file. Oh, that's actually the other one. So we're actually going to save this real quick. So we're going to exit out of that. Save. Go to Options. And then we're going to look at shortcuts. And you can actually look through this. This will give you a list of different things you can do. There's all kinds of other things in here that I've not messed with and done a whole lot with. I should actually spend a little more time looking through this. We are looking for... Where is it? Here we go. Exit play mode. So I changed mine to Control Shift Delete. And that is because I would often hit escape trying to do something else, and I would leave my scenario by accident. So Control Shift Delete, or whatever you want this to be. All right, so we're going to go back to our world. All right, so let's just say we want to make sure we move things that are only in this layer. There's another tool up here. Again, looks like a hamburger. And we are going to select that. And the options here are pretty self-explanatory. Select from all layers, select from active layer only, and select from inactive layer. Just to explain them, all layers means no matter what layer an item is, all right, I can select on it. So an active layer is the layer you currently have chosen. So notice how this is a little bit more, bold of a color than this other layer here. Watch. All right. You see it change a little bit. So no matter what layer, I can change it and move it. If you want to work in the layer you have active only, you're going to choose this. So I'm just going to say that's an A for active layer. So I can only choose what is in this layer. I cannot choose anything that is not in this layer. All right, no matter where I'm at, I can only choose what is in this layer. Okay, so that's a safe way to not move something by accident or mess with it by accident. Select from inactive layers only. So, if you ever have an item selected and it's just not letting you select off of it, hit escape. So these are in my layer. I cannot select them. All right. These are not in the layer and I can select them. So I'm going to go back to select from all layers. And I am just going to go and delete these. All right. Actually, let's just say you don't want this wall anymore. You can select it and delete it, and it'll be just fine. But we're going to delete all these. All right, so now let's go into let's see, show you some decorating. Let's just say on this corner here, you wanted to start decorating it. So in ARMA Reforger, you're going to go down to Again, prefabs or prefabs library. The difference between the two are that, let's say, bin. I like to use this example here. So where'd it go? So that's called trash bin. All right, so when you're searching for items and you're not sure exactly what it's called, you do have to get close. But let's just say you didn't remember it was called trash bin. You can type in bin. It'll bring up anything with bin in the name. Let's just say it's a weird name, but in this example, trash, you can type in TR space BI, and it'll bring up with objects that have those abbreviations in it. Whenever you are naming something, though, like if you ever come across the point where you're going to name something, you have to use an underscore. You cannot use a space. So it'll be underscores like you see here. So let's in prefabs, no matter how many times you place it down, it will look exactly the same. If you go into prefab library, it'll add rotations to some things. So it gives a little bit more flair where you're not doing everything manually. Now it does look like it does run the same rotations sometimes. I don't know what the default values are, but you can, if you manually place them out of the prefabs, so we're back in prefabs and you place it, you can rotate it yourself if you want. So same with these, you can still rotate them. It'll save what you do. So let's go ahead and just delete these. And now some objects will change size. Like if you place a tree down, it'll add a rotation. I'm sorry, in the prefabs library. If you place a tree down or a bush or something like that, or a rock, it'll change orientation and size on most of them. So that way you're not getting the same cookie cutter tree look for the most part. So let's just say you look at an area like this and you go, all right, that'd be cool to kind of have let's just say like a little storage area. So you got to kind of think of what a storage item would be called. So you store items on shelves. So let's see. So you got to click there, go to prefabs. And I notice how there's no prefab library. So they don't have any shelves that will have that, it looks like. And then you can scroll, or you can open up prefabs and look through each individual area. So let's see. All right, all kinds of items in here. All right, so not shelf, called storage maybe? Prefabs. Oh, there we go. Now there's a prefab library, but nope. All right. Yep. So that's a good example of it takes some time to find things sometimes. Shelves, general storage. There we go. Oh, that's okay. So they usually keep a pretty good consistency in what they call things. So let's just go ahead and click and drag this and bring it in. So what's all on it? All right. Kind of some basic stuff it looks like. So you can either eyeball this to be straight. What I like to do if I'm going to eyeball it, move it to where it intersects with something, and then rotate it until it kind of intersects on the other end, and then kind of move it off. And then you can kind of move it over. There we go. All right. And if we wanted it to be at the completely flush with that, what you can do is select the wall behind it, go to its angle Y, copy. We want to make sure we're on parent. Copy, and paste. Now, if you looked, because where this rotates from, we set that rotation angle. So all we need to do is go on the rotate tool, hit E, hold Control, and rotate it 180 degrees. And that'll be flush up with that and perfectly good with that. All right. So let's say we want this area fenced off. And I'm going to show you this just because of you may find you want to add some kind of cordoned off areas. So let's type in fence. And then you're going to see all kinds of fences in here. And I have one in mind I want to use, so I'm going to try to find it. It's what I like using and stuff like this. There we go. It's called net fence. So let's go. All right. So here you're going to see net fence 2M. So it means 2 meters long. Let's place that down. Yeah, 4-meter version of it. There's a D for destroyed. All right. And then there's some other versions of stuff in here. All right. So let's kind of just keep these off to the side. Sometimes I like having them in the world just so I can see what they look like in case I decide I want to use it. Sometimes it's hard to get a good idea what they look like unless they're there. So let's all right. Actually, I've got an idea here. All right, the gears are rotating a little bit. So let's go look back. Let's see, is there a door set for something like this? No. Sometimes you gotta kind of place it down. Control Z to undo what you did. I should have mentioned that earlier. Control Z. Prison cell. Nah. There's one in here somewhere. Oh, you know what is it called? Bunker door set. There we go. All right. Now, we're going to want these to pretty much be square up with this. So again, just click on an item you want to square it up with. Control, copy and paste its Y angle. And now we're going to want this rotated, so door there is fine. And then move it off to the side. All right, so then we're going to want this squared up. So we already have that that angle, so we can save. We can copy and paste it over, and then we're going to move this back. All right. Ooh. With these fences, we're getting lucky right now that it's actually snapping to where we want it to be. If it's not snapping where we want it to be, come over here into 1 second. All right. So I'm gonna kind of step away from where I'm working real quick. I'm gonna show you this. So that item, all right, no matter where we move it, it's going to go with the terrain. All right. If we change this in its object properties to none, it's going to hold its shape. So with what we're doing in this interior building, we want to be on none. All right, so we're gonna go back in here. Just wanted to show you that. So we're gonna actually turn this off for in here. All right, and remove this back. And then, all right. Should we have it? We're gonna move it over to this. All right. So we're going to, all right, let's do, so instead of typing the word concrete, I'm just gonna type in CONC. See if we need to concrete pole. If you see that there is a version of it in the custom app items, try to use that. The reason being is those are likely going to be changed to have destruction disabled. So in something like this, we don't want this to be able to be destroyed. So we'll use that. Oh, we want to make sure it's got its proper angle. All right, and we're going to move it in and over. All right, that looks good. Move this over. All right, and then we're going to duplicate this upwards. So we're going to hold Control, hold Alt, and move it up. And then what I like to do is going to rotate it. Then we're going to do that again. We're going to duplicate it. All right. Now, if you notice how this has happened, if you see this happen and it's going to be visible to players, what you can do is change its size. Where's it at? Size up or down by like the smallest value. Should add a 1 at the end. So what's happening is the textures are like overlapping with each other. All right. So we've got that going up. And then, all right, how do we want to close this? We'll take the smaller gate. I'm going to move it over. All right, get our Y value. All right, perfect. That actually rotated it exactly how we needed it. All right, so it's inside that. Oh, we had to turn off placement. Ooh, and relative Y. So as you place objects down, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. I've been keeping an eye on it, but I forgot to say it. Relative Y. Turn relative Y off if you can. And then also, when we're working inside of a building, turn placement to none. So that's good there. Alrighty. So we're going to move this off to the side. And is that? All right. So even though it's visible here, players won't be in this little cubbyhole. So don't worry about that. All right. So then what you can do is click, hold Control, click, click, and hold Control and Alt, and then click and drag until it's met up with. Sometimes it gets weird to get an angle on an item. All right. So what you also can do is if you hold Control while you have this selected, if you hold Control and you click on an item, it'll deselect it. Notice how over here it disappeared, right? So I'm selecting, deselecting. Oh, there we go. All right. So now that I have this item selected, it's easier to move. All right. You can kind of get that finesse in there. And then let's see how this looks. So let's select this one, that one, that one. We're going to duplicate it, Control and Alt, and see. I don't know, we like that better. Do I like that? I don't know. Let's see, it's accurate. What's above? Nothing above that. Let's see. See, how does this look? I don't know. I'll leave it like this for a little bit and see how much you'll like that later on. Okay, so there you go. So we kind of lost where we were at. So if you do Control Z, it'll bring you back to the item. It'll undo what you did, but a lot of times it's reselecting the item for you. All right, so we're gonna duplicate it. Control Alt, bring it out. Hit your rotate tool, E, hold Control, and then rotate it. Bring it out, over, over. So we're going to see, make sure it's not intersecting with anything we care about. Nope. All right. Oh, let's see how this looks. So be in the habit of saving. Control S makes you save. And there's a little storage area here. Kind of like that. Not horrible. Obviously that little glitch there, but all right. So not bad. Little storage area, and you can change this if you want when you start working in this. You know, you've got all kinds of different things here you can do. There's railings that will need to go across that. Let's see, what else can I think of that you'd like to see? All right, so let's kind of take this same idea and let's do grab one of these walls, move it out. You can do outwards. That'd be good. And let's do it there. Rotate it back. How should we do this? So again, door set to bring up the doors. I'm just going to prefabs. Let's find a door that I want to use. Let's see. Again, sometimes you just gotta kind of place it to see what it looks like. So that's got a wood. It's not gonna fit here. Sure, that'll work. So line it up, click on that, copy paste the Y. A lot of it's become second nature. I don't know how exactly to tell what way it's going to swing. Sometimes you'll see the hinges and know, but a little hard to tell sometimes. So we're kind of stuck in position on where to put this door, and I'll show you why. Because if we try to bring another wall over, you know, and let's just say we tried making the door here, this would stick out too far. So we'll have to find something to kind of close off that piece there. So you got that done. And then let's just say you want to make this a office space. You can do desk. Some medical equipment there if you want. I don't know. I'm just kind of just messing with this chair. There we go. So some of these already come with extra items on it. You can add extra items if you want. But yeah, that's, you know, just different little ways you can add flavor to it. And save. Always save. And then what I would recommend doing is, you know, spend some time just kind of opening up these folders. You're going to look a lot in prefab and prefab library. Those are your two main folders. They're labeled pretty well. Props are kind of more, you know, smaller items for the most part, I think, kind of in my experience. And I may be wrong in that, but, you know, like you got, you know, just items like this. You know, there's just all kinds of stuff in this in these folders. So spend some time going through it. You'll learn what you can and can't put down. Or I'm sorry, not what you can and can't, but different items that go for different areas, you know, that fit that mold of what you're looking for. And check in each of these two folders. They do have different things. So there are, don't worry about the lighting in here right now. I'm going to be working on that here in the near future as far as getting the proper lighting set up. But yeah, spend some time, just kind of use this as an area to kind of mess and learn about placing objects. All right, I think that's going to do it. I think 47 minutes and 50 seconds is enough.